Good afternoon, today is May 12th, and today I'll continue to be talking about the coronavirus. So the first piece of news that I'd like to talk about is that many workers that have been laid off or furloughed, who are immigrants, could face deportation. So while the millions of jobs have been lost during this coronavirus pandemic, and yet tens of thousands of foreign workers are on skilled worker visas, such as H-1Bs or H-2Bs, and they have also been laid off. So many have been waiting for several years to obtain permanent legal residency through their employer, but they now face the prospect of swift deportation if they are furloughed or laid off from their jobs. And adding on to this, the Trump administration is also expected within the next few weeks to halt the issuance of new work visas such as H-1B for high-skilled foreigners and H-2B for seasonal employment. The new measures would also eliminate a program, I think it's called the OPT program, which enables foreign graduates of American universities to remain in the country and work. And this program is just basically telling American students that once you've completed your education, you have to return to your home country. So I think mainly this is just happening because one of the problems that Americans need to find jobs, and if these immigrants continue to stay here, then they're basically stealing jobs from many American workers who desperately need it. And obviously the Trump and Republicans and Trump administration don't want, and I personally agree with this, that these immigrants are just going to could steal the jobs of many Americans that have already been rooted in the country. The second thing that I'd like to talk about is that California's plan to increase travelers was overwhelmed and quickly faltered. On Monday, a study was released by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, which looked exclusively at California. California is the largest state and a point of entry for thousands of travelers from Asia, as the Asian population literally lives in California and New York, and also travelers from Iran. And in the early days of the outbreak, the United States, including California, had a very brief chance to limit the spread of the disease at its borders, and California chose contact tracing, which is basically to keep track of these people or travelers from high-risk countries, and enabling public health officials to identify possible cases of the coronavirus, quarantine them, and contact people who are exposed to them. But when the program was begun on February 5th, several weeks passed before it was quickly shut down because the disease has spread too quickly, and the program was abandoned to just keep the virus within the state. And California is now one of the hardest hit states. So I think this just sets a good example of the challenge to try to screen travelers and prevent pandemic transmission so that we can take better action next time. The third thing that I'd like to talk about is that despite many airlines suffering, like I mentioned in my previous video, yet some flights were extremely full, and now I'd like to explain how this has happened. So just a few weeks ago, there were videos online of almost empty seats, but right now travelers are just complaining of the opposite. And the first reason why this may be happening is because airlines have slashed their schedules, cut flights in May by about 90%, and this means that people who were originally supposed to board 4 flights perhaps were squished into a single flight that remains, and as a result, obviously, the airlines would be full in capacity. The second reason why this may be happening is because of the middle seats. So it depends on the airline. Some airlines like Delta and Americans said that it would block half the middle seats on airlines, which would obviously cut down capacity. But some airlines also said that it would the airlines can assign middle seats, but it's just that consumers can't buy them on their own. The third reason why this may also be happening is just that airlines don't want to fly with fewer people. I already said I think the airline business loses about $350 to $400 million a day, and if there's travelers that are willing to travel, they're not going to refuse them. Obviously, they need to make money, and personally, I think that unless you have any extreme emergency where you need a flight, just don't board a flight. And if you do, for example, board a flight, it is very dangerous. So just keep yourself safe. Wear a mask if possible, and just I guess keep yourself safe, but don't fly if you can avoid it. That's it. Thank you for listening, and have a good day. Thank you.